Okay, so we're going to talk about absolute value equations, and this one we're going to do 61 first. If you're given the absolute value of x is equal to 8, and then remember that the absolute value is the distance x is from 8. I'm sorry, from 0. And so therefore, there are two values where x is 8 away from 0. That would be when x is equal to positive 8 and negative 8. And so you just take the positive and negative values and you're done with it. This can lead to two different equations though, so let's look at 63. If I give you x minus 2 is equal to 7, then this is the absolute value of x minus 2. I'm sorry, this is x minus 2 is equal to 7, and this is x minus 2 is equal to negative 7. So I can add 2. And I have x is equal to 9, and then I can add 2. And x is equal to negative 5. So there are our two equations, or I'm sorry, two solutions to this absolute value equation. The next one, I have 2, 4 minus 5 over 2x. 6 is equal to 18. So I can solve this by doing an equation. Minus 6 minus 6. Guys, you want to isolate the absolute value before you do this step up here. So notice in this one, the absolute value was by itself. I didn't need to isolate it. In this case, I do. And so this is 12 is equal to 2, 4 minus 5 halves x. I divide by 2. I get 4 minus 5 halves x. Oops, wrong side. Is equal to 6. And so I have 4 minus 5 halves x is equal to 6. 4 minus 5 halves x is equal to negative 6. And I can solve both of these. Minus 4. Okay, and then negative 5 halves x is equal to negative 10. Okay, and then times 2 times 2, and then divide by negative 5. And x is equal to negative 4/5. Okay, so two different answers. One thing you guys should note about absolute values cannot equal a negative because the distance from 0 cannot be negative. Distance is always positive. You will never say I went negative 2 feet. You'll just say I went 2 feet to the left, or I went 2 feet to the right, or I went 2 feet in any direction, but not negative 2 feet. So that takes care of that. So let's say you got something like this, x minus 7. Oops. Let's say we have this equation. I go and isolate. Then I say no solution. Because if this is negative, it is no solution. All right, so that is that. Let's look at some absolute values. So there's some tricks to this. If you look at the top, it says less than, greater than. And the way I remember less than and greater than is I say great or and less than. So great or means it's an or statement, and less than means it's an and statement. And so we have the absolute value of x is less than 3. So this is a less than. And so what happens is we go negative 3 is less than x is less than 3 in this case. Okay, so and statements look more like this. Okay, so that would be that one. If we did x minus 1 is less than or equal to 2, then this is going to be negative 2 is less than or equal to x minus 1, less than or equal to 2. We add the 1. Negative 1 is less than or equal to x is less than or equal to 3. And those are our solutions. Let's do a greater. X minus 2 is greater than or equal to 9. Okay, so if it's a greater, you're going to have two different equations. So the first one you're going to have here is x minus 2 is greater than or equal to 9, or x minus 2 is less than or equal to 9. Negative 9, I'm sorry. So this is going to be plus 2, x is greater than or equal to 11, plus 2x is less than or equal to negative 7. So what does that look like? That is x. If I was to use notation, guys, then what happens is if x is less than or equal to negative 7, that means x is from negative infinity to negative 7, include 7. Okay, then it skips a bunch, and then it goes to 11 and up until infinity. So let's graph this just to show you what I'm talking about a little bit better. So we know that x is less than or equal to negative 7 looks like this. And then over here is 11. And it goes something like this. So all of this falls in here, all of that falls in here, and there's nothing in between. That's why there's that gap. Okay, so let's do another one. Let's do x minus 8 greater than or equal to, I don't know. Let's do 10. So we we isolate x minus 8 greater than 5, greater, so it's an or statement. So we have x minus 8 greater than or equal to 5, or x minus 8 less than or equal to negative 5. We solve. X is greater than 13, or x is less than or equal to 3. So we graph it. So here's 3, here's 13. We go like this. We go like this. Okay, so any value to the left of 3 would be from negative infinity up until 3. You always start with the lower numbers, guys, and then you move left to right. Then union that with where it starts. It starts again at 13 and goes to infinity. Okay. You will need to know how to do this, guys. This is interval notation. This is with gaps. If you can do that, then you'll be good to go, and you can do these types of problems. You will see them on Alex, so make sure you practice them there. Thanks, guys.